Today, I would like to talk a little bit about how reality television impacts our society. We'll discuss a little bit about the negative side effects, who it impacts the most, how it affects our children, and maybe the genders associated as well as different ethnic groups. Gender-specific aggression is what I'd like to cover first. Both male and female genders are affected aggressively after watching reality television. We're socially aware of who we are. We tend to compare ourselves more to who we see on reality television. It's our claim to realism. Men are actually affected more when it comes to aggression after watching reality television. They're 24% more likely to be more verbally aggressive, 10% more likely to be indirectly aggressive, and 50% more physically aggressive after watching reality television. Glasscock has hypothesized that male versus female violence, when females are 22% less likely to be aggressive after watching reality TV. Aggression seems realistic in reality television. We tend to mimic what we see, and there's very little consequences for high offenses. 57% of men are more aggressive overall across the board versus 24% of women. Now that we've covered a little bit about gender, I'd like to discuss how it affects our different races or ethnicities. Caucasians, it actually affects the most. They tend to be more aggressive than any other minority group. 66% more verbally aggressive, 72% more indirectly aggressive, and 70% more physically aggressive. That just means, too, that Caucasians are more likely to be more aggressive towards other Caucasians than other minority groups, and vice versa. We're less likely to be more violent towards minority groups, and vice versa. Kanye said that we are the same way impacted after viewing reality television in a short term as well as long term. So after viewing reality television, we see these aggressive traits in a short amount of time after viewing the show, as well as long-term side effects. Reality television also adversely affects our children. Vanden Bosch says that it negatively develops our children's sexual behaviors. Why are we drawn to reality television? Why are children drawn to reality television? It's a competition. It's riveted with sensationalism, and it's very lively as well as teasing. Studies have actually shown that it regulates our moods, especially in adolescence. It involves maximum pleasure and minimum pain. Adolescents are actually veering away from parental guidance when it comes to questions about sexuality to their peers now. We mimic the media characters that we see. We tend to want to be more like them. Hoffner calls this wishful identification. It is vicariously we want to experience reality through different media characters. We bond with the characters that we find on reality television. We want to be more like them or less like them and less of ourselves. We as adolescents, or our children as adolescents, have also drawn away from news because it's considered a downer on emotions. Whereas reality television is more of an equalizer in those emotions. It can also affect adolescents' decision-making processes. It's moving from an idealistic view of what a relationship is to what reality TV says it is. It also gives us a very skewed idea of what marriage is in different reality televisions as well. Boys tend to idolize women now, and genders are explore more about themselves earlier sexually to get ahead of the game. They try to be with their peers in this because even if their peers are not ahead of the game, if you will, they think they are, so everybody's trying to get one up on each other when it comes to this behavior. In conclusion, we've talked a little bit about how reality affects different genders, races, all different types of our adolescent behavior when it comes to sexual behavior. We know that it doesn't have a major effect difference-wise on men and women, although it does affect men more. And Caucasians tend to be more aggressive than minority groups. We don't want our adolescent children to become more sexually aware of themselves by watching reality television. So I hope the next time that you pick up the remote that you think twice about what you're watching. It only has to be 5.